welcome, my name is Achabot, I'm a dedicated Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links streamer, and today we are going to talk about the China release of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, or better said in Chinese, 游戏王决斗链接. So for everyone who has already heard of it, the game is already out, I think about a week or two, and I'm going to show you the major differences between Duel Links China and Duel Links global release. So let's start right away. First point, I think for everybody who doesn't know it yet, Yu-Gi-Oh! In China is run actually by NetEase and not by Konami, which you can see here up in the corner. It's a Chinese company and they are mainly concentrated on mobile games. And you can see here that they are actually licensed by Konami, but the game itself will be run in China and operated by NetEase. So if you have any problems, complaints going to NetEase, right? For people who doesn't know what NetEase is, it's still like a huge company based in Hangzhou, China. I think it's mostly known for the mobile games here overseas. I think the game I played last year was called Mo-Tue. That's actually pretty famous. So yeah, if you haven't checked out that yet, it's also a gacha game full of beautiful spirits, ancient Japanese feeling, and you are basically an exorcist, a very hot one with white hair. I think that's the reason why I started playing it. So this is the first point of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links in China. It's operated by a completely different company. So this leads us to point number 2. Basically, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links or 游戏王决斗链接 in China will be operated by NetEase and on their own servers for mainland China publicity and audiences. This will basically lead to, NetEase very likely is going to operate their own local championships, as I guess, because this one will be independent then also from YCS and WCS, which is the usual world championships in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Why that is the case, we will look it into a little bit later, because they will have a different meta, and that can be explained by the other points which will be coming up, the main differences between Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links global release and the China release. So now let's look into point number 3. Oh yeah, point number 3 is actually the thing you can see here on the right side. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links or 游戏王决斗链接 will be available not only in the App Store for Apple and iOS, but it will also be available for Mo-Tue Emulator and TapTap. So basically, usually if you have been playing Duel Links, you know that their TOS says they are against third-party applications. But the Mo-Tue Emulator here is on the official website, and that is the third-party application. It's an emulator. It says it. Okay, so that's also one, major difference compared to the global release. NetEase is obviously supporting emulator. It's on their official page. You can download it and then you are able to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, or at least the China version, on an emulator, officially allowed, legal. Here we go. So for the fourth point, we have to go into the game then. So to the fourth point, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links China release will only have one voice pack and one language pack. I have checked it out. So if you scroll down, there is only Chinese simplified and Japanese voice pack. You can't change it. There is no choice. You have to learn Chinese or you have to speak Japanese to understand it. Have fun with that. So all the cards will also be in Chinese. There is like no English or whatsoever version, which means actually in the global version, you are allowed to choose between English, Japanese, and Korean voice packs, and the languages is like literally everything you can think of. So that was point 4, very limited voice packages and language choices. Now let's come to point number 5. Point number 5 is actually they have their own tutorial. So when I started playing Duel Links, I remember I had a tutorial basically teaching me how to summon and tribute summon and use like normal spells, and that's it. But this one, they have a different tutorial. They will go through with the tribute summoning, spell and trap cards, and they will even explain fusion summon. So for beginners, I would say it's friendlier to get into the game. And I think we should implement something similar like that for new players in the Duel Links global version too. Dueling. Okay, now to point number 6. Different in-game missions, lifetime missions, including extra icons. So if you have paid attention to the overlay here in the global version, you have only 4 icons. So basically you have like your mission reward box, I would call it, and then you have your messages, basically issues whatsoever information. Then you have your profile, and then you have the settings, this one here. But in the Chinese version, you have an extra icon, which is a scroll here. This is basically only for missions, and those are mostly lifetime missions to be fulfilled, and you get extra rewards, which I would call it basically, how to say, a hook to get new players in China to jump on the game. I will explain that later. I think the game servers are pretty much overloaded. I'm recording this right now at night in Europe because during the day I can't even access the game. So that's how popular it is right now in China. Oh yeah, and if you go into their shop, they have different even login daily and weekly rewards. So this is basically where you buy your extra stuff, I call it your goodies. And here is every day you get something like 5 gems, 200 gold, and there is another one per week. So this is per day and there's another one per week. So I got already my reward for the week, so next week there will be another reward waiting for me. That is also very interesting. This is additional bonus, and it's as far as I understood, this is regular and will continue. So that was number 6. Now to number 7, which is the most interesting part and will also partly explain why they will develop, how they will develop a different meta. And because of the different meta, they need to have a different championship and have an independent local, I would say, event organization, and why this whole thing might be like completely separated from YCS, WCS, because it makes sense. So now going into number 7, China exclusive starter decks, which you can see here. So you have a Yugi starter deck, you have a Kyber starter deck, and a Jonozi starter deck. You can buy this only once and with gens, which is 300, and it has very powerful cards for my opinion. So for the start, you get magical hats, you get offerings to the Doom, Kuribo. I mean, those are the cards I haven't seen in the first year of DuelLinks when I was playing. So it took me like 2 years or 1.5 to get to those cards. And I think this is pretty overpowered. So they would be literally be frog leaping in their meta, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so the Kyber deck is also busted. It has Kyber Man, it has Econ. Hello, I have been farming for over 6 months for V1 Econ because the freaking drop rate was so low in the beginning in DuelLinks, as far as I remember. And then here is a DD Warrior. I haven't seen the DD Warrior for the first year of DuelLinks either. So it's full, as said, the starter decks are full of powerful cards and you get them for 300 gems, which is basically for free. Yeah, Jonochi has a Time Wizard and a Metal Morph. Holy Lord, you know, yeah. And dice it, so it's packed with strong cards. And if we go further into the shop, you will see that they don't only have their own starter decks, they will also have their own, I call it beginner boxes. It's kind of close to a selection box, but it's not 100% a selection box. It has 60 packs. You can theoretically buy all of them with gems if you have had enough. But it's full pack with incredible cards, as you can see. Dynamic Switch, Balloons. So those are the cards which took a long time for me to see in DuelLinks. I mean, I've been playing half a year before I saw the balloons released in the box. And this is basically already in the beginner box of the China version of DuelLinks, or China release of DuelLinks. The same goes for the second beginner box. Yeah. There are clowns and the Lucky Ladybug. Oh yeah, Twister. Hello. How long did it take us until we get Twister? I think after the first KC Cup we saw Twister, right? So no Twister before. Centaur. Don't care. Yeah, so basically those, I call them beginner boxes, are also fully loaded with good stuff before they go into their actually main and mini boxes. So this is incredible. That was point number 7. Yep. And this will also lead to the point number 8, which will lead into their shift in the meta. They will develop different meta because they rank their cards differently. If you still remember, if you have played back then, like 3 years ago, you would know that Dynamic Witch is actually ultra rare, not a super rare. But for the Chinese or for DuelLinks China, it is a super rare. Okay. And the same goes for the X-Raider. I don't know if he is here, but a lot of cards which we used to know as ultra rare, they end up here as super rare. And also you get actually Dream Ticket for a super rare in the beginning of the game instead of a Dream Ticket for ultra rare. That is pretty interesting too. So because of, I think, the different cards they get, the different starter decks, starter boxes whatsoever, and how they rate their cards, there will be a completely different meta they get into. And the question is how they frog leap and when they will catch up. Maybe after that we might have World Championships included with China? Who knows? So that was point number 8. Number 9. Okay. Point number 9 will also, influence the in-game mechanic. And I think also the profit or the profitability of this game. Basically, if you go into the shop, you will realize that when you try to buy packs, for example here, you can see it's not paid directly with money. Usually we would buy packs either with gems or with some kind of currency, but they buy it with tickets. And those tickets, are actually bought with those in-game currency, which are coins. How do I get near on the coins, guys? Let me get into coins. Here. Okay. So basically you buy in-game currency or virtual currency with your real money and then use the virtual currency to buy tickets which buy your card boxes, packs and cards and in-game goodies. So basically you are just, taking your real money, putting on NetEase account into virtual currency and then will stay there. You won't get it back. Forget about that. Yeah, I think that is interesting because for us it's like direct trade. We just go like real currency, in-game items. They go like real currency, virtual currency, and then in-game items. I think that's actually better for the company who's running it because they are just like taking care of your money. Basically like your wife. You will never see a cent after that. Yep. That was number 9. Number 10. Oh yeah. Number 10, they will have a different, event cycle. As you can see here, this is their first event, it's Toon World. Can you believe that? Toon World, first event. I don't know how long I have waited for Toon World and Pegasus to appear to unlock him, but their first event is Toon World. What should I say about it? So literally, the first event they get the chance to get into Toon World cards and relinquish. So their meta will be completely different than how our meta was developed, which is like completely, I don't want to say messed up, but it will be different, completely different. Yeah. So that were actually 10 major differences I could find out between Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links China and the global release. I have some honorable mentions. I'm not sure if it's so important for everybody else to know about it, but actually here in the setting there's streamer support, so you can literally go here to the second point, which will be streaming, and I think that's actually pretty interesting for all the content creators out there. Yeah, but the thing is like in Duel Links China, you can't see it, however you cannot really access it. You can see there now are 900,000 people watching this, but if I click in it, I don't have a whatever Bilibili, Huya or whatsoever account, and I'm also obviously outside of China, so yeah, black screen, exactly. I will be closed out, that would not be possible to access it, sad face. I even created a CC, Bilibili, Douyu, and Huya. Yeah. You get a preview of what you could be actually watching as a stream, but as someone outside of China, you will not get access to it. Lame. Meh. But this is basic streamer support. I think it's a honorable mention. And it's really good for content creators because it's very supportive. However, you get no access to it outside of China because you are not like VPN in China. And oh yeah, there is a game capture setting. So basically when I achieve something, for example, an unlocked champion or something, there will be an icon on the screen literally for me to directly screenshot it within the game without me pressing like on my mobile phone. There will be an extra icon for it. I think that's actually pretty cool. So you can actually capture the moment you like, or when you unlock someone, or when you get a new card and stuff. That's really cool. And another honorable mention, we found out that the cards here actually are also censored. So when you literally look up for in the card catalog, you can see it very well. Let me find it. The Harpy Lady. I think the Harpy Lady is always a good example. Oh, now I need to write Chinese. Okay. So basically the Harpy Ladies, as you can see here, just looks like in the European or USA version, but that's already the censored version. And the Japanese one is still, you know, naked. And yeah, that's also one honorable mention. So basically here DuelLinks China is different from the Japanese version, but close to the global version. Yep. And those were the 3 honorable mentions. 10 major differences will cause a different meta in China, which will lead them into a different championship and a different, how to say, locally organized, I think, event list. Final thoughts, I was asked if I would recommend people to start over on DuelLinks China because they get more powerful cards from the very beginning. I can say that the prices actually for the cards are very fair. So it's about $1 a pack right now. I don't know how this will develop in future, but right now it's a very fair price thing. For everyone who wants to start over or somehow has lost their account or whatsoever access and has to start over anyway, I can recommend because the account is very easily set up and you can play, yeah, you can stay free to play if you want to because you can. I think it will be hard for you to pay money because I'm not even sure if they accept credit card. I'm pretty sure they are going via Alipay or WeChat Pay, whatsoever. If you don't have if you don't have an Alibaba account or WeChat account, this could be tricky. But if you just want like a free-to-play account and test out new stuff, I think it's a very good idea to make an account on the Chinese server just to see how things goes. It's very interesting and it's much easier to start because you get better cards in the beginning. So I will make another I will make another video to show you how to emulate this game because for the people who want to play, I can show you how to emulate it on BlueStacks or Nox. And basically, for everybody else who is interested, has questions, please post it into the comments. And if you want like a more in-depth review, you can check out my VOD because we have watching and testing this game for like over 2 or 3 hours on Sunday. And you can check out it in detail on the VOD where the small changes are because this video is about the major differences. So see ya, follow, like and share, bye bye.